Hi. How you doing? What's going on? Do I say the same thing every single day? I think I do. I think I've gotten into a groove with it. But hi. How you doing? And Ray is here. Ray, you're first. Yay. Very nice to see you, Ray. So welcome to Daily Fuel. Welcome to the replay. You're probably in the replay unless you're Ray. And, Ray could be in the replay again. I don't know. Ray, let me know if you're in the replay again when you watch this again. Later, if you watch this again. Anyway, welcome to the replay. My name is Bobby. I am the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist, and this is Daily Fuel. I do a live every day except Sunday, and talk about things. Usually not amphibians or eating them, but this has nothing to do with either, really. It's just an expression. So today is a metaphor about eating the frog, and we'll get to that in a second. But if you're in the replay, do me a favor and let me know that you're here in the replay. You can write hashtags. You can do all the things. Hashtag replay, hashtag I'm here, hashtag catching up. Make one up. They don't have to have the re in it. They can be anything you want. Make one up. Be creative. I wish I had a group of creative people that could make things up out of thin air. That would be cool. My next group is going to be that. Maybe what's the word for that? People who can make things out of their imaginations. I can't think of it right now, but if you think of it, let me know. And that's the group I'll make next time. Anyway, if you're watching live, let me know that you're here. You guys can start commenting, and I'm going to start ignoring the comments in a moment, and I'll come back and I'll read all these. I see some faces, and we can. You got to stop walking on my head. Okay, so let's get started. Eat the frog. Eat it. Eat the frog is an expression. It means do the thing. Basically, eat the frog isn't really the whole thing. The idea is if your job were to eat a frog, if you knew you had to get up tomorrow and at some point tomorrow you had to eat a frog, just do it. Just get it over with. Eat it. Be done. It's the thing you don't want to do, or it's the big thing that could kind of propel you forward. It could be either way. So think of the frog as one of two things. I'm going to explain that again because I kind of glossed over it. The frog in your day is the thing that you just don't want to do. I really don't want to do this thing, but I got to do it. And I've been putting it off. I've been procrastinating. Or the frog can be the big thing that you know you have to do, but you're not getting to it. So let's break those down individually. So a lot of times we can procrastinate on things because this thing that we have to do is something I don't really feel like doing. I don't feel inspired to do it. I'm just not feeling it. Spirit's not telling me to do it yet. Not to make fun of that, but you know what I mean. It's like we come up with excuses of why we're not doing this thing. We procrastinate. I just don't feel like it. I've been putting it off for a week. I've been putting it off for a month. And now the day is here. I can't put it off anymore. That's that kind of frog, right? Or the other kind of frog is I got to do this big project. This is the thing that's going to propel me. This is the thing that's going to be the next step for me. But man, I can't do this thing. My desk is a mess. I can't work in these conditions. Let me clean my desk first. Then I'll get to the thing, So we end up doing a lot of busy work. We end up being busy and constantly moving around and working, but really not accomplishing anything. So that's eat the frog means do that thing first. If it's something you really don't want to do, but you have to do it. Just eat it. Get it over with, right? Eating a frog is supposed to sound unpleasant, right? Or if it's the thing that's going to kind of propel you forward. I have to get this thing done. I got to get my invoices out. I can't get paid if I don't get my invoices out, right? That's the frog. So, here are three things about it. Is number one, day to day, you get to pick your own frog. It's not the same thing every single day, but you get to pick the thing. And a lot of times you can think at night, maybe before you go into bed, or maybe at the end of your workday, if you don't want to think about work, or once you leave your office or whatever. And this doesn't just apply to work; it applies to anything. You can apply this to anything. But you can think ahead and be like, tomorrow, my frog is going to be this thing, and I'm going to get up. And I'm going to just do it, and I'm going to get it done first, right? And I'm going to get it over with. So that's that unpleasant frog idea. It's just to get up, go down, do it, get it over with. It's done. Now the rest of the day you don't have to eat frogs. You can eat things that you enjoy eating, metaphorically and literally. You don't have to eat frogs at all. But right, so so pick your own frog. It's the thing that's going to give you the most relief or the biggest energy boost. Now, the idea about the frog, too, is that it shouldn't be something that's going to take like 3 days because you can't get that done first thing. So if it's a big thing, you want to break it down into tasks. I have to get this project done. All right, well, what are some steps in the project? Is it once you start, you have to work nonstop through the night until it's finished? Because if you don't, something's going to explode? Probably not, so break it into things. I want to get, so for me, like let's say I wanted to do a website. Well, the first thing would be I need to get the domain set up and I need to get the platform built. That's one thing. I can do that in a couple hours. And then there's, I need to get a design put together and shown to the client. Well, that's another thing, might take a few hours. And then there's, now that it's approved, I have to start putting the design into the platform that I built. And that might be a couple of days, so I'll break that down even further, So that's what I'm talking about. So pick your own frog. Tomorrow I'm going to get that domain name and point it to the server. I don't feel like doing it, but it's that thing. Or a really unpleasant one might be tomorrow I'm going to call that person that I don't want to talk to, and I'm going to talk about that thing that I've been avoiding talking about. You know what that feels like, right? But that's the frog. So that's actually 1 and 2 is pick your own frog and break down little things. Let's just make that 1 because 2 is pick your own time. Now I said if it's a bad thing or a thing you don't want to do, maybe get up and do it first. But the time isn't really important because the idea here is that you want to do it, especially if it's a productive frog, something that this is the thing I have to do to move forward. You want to do it when you're most productive. So if you're a morning person, then maybe getting up and doing it first is the way to go. And if it's a really unpleasant thing, then maybe getting up and getting it over with is the way to go. But if it's a productive thing and you're a night owl, then maybe waking up and doing it in the morning isn't really going to work out for you because you're more able to get in the groove. You're more able to do your thing at night, maybe in the middle of the night, So you got to pick your own time, and depending on what kind of frog we're talking about, find the time that works best for that kind of frog. So there you go. Those are actually, I don't have a third thing. Those were the first 2 things I said were one thing, were actually 2 things, and the third thing is the third thing, and that's 1, 2, 3. That's how we count to 3. Okay, so let's go to the comments. Ray is here. Hi. Breathe. Time to breathe, right? That's my frog. I don't like breathing, I guess. Ray says breathe, get it out of the way. There you go. And Mikey says ribbit. What's up, buddy? Marsha's here. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Marsha. How are you? Nice to see you. Aruna is here. Hey, I'm not in the replay. I am in the now play. That's right, buddy. You are. You're here now live. Nice to see you. Ray says, Mikey was a little behind today. Amy says, I have to say I'm disappointed. I had my apron on, the frogs out of the pond, and then I read the bottom of the post. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's not a cooking show. But you can go make frogs if you really want to. And Facebook user says, good morning, bro. Let's see who Facebook user is. I do not know. Where are you? And then I never know. Oh, it's Lyle. Lyle's brand new to the group. Welcome to the group, Lyle, and welcome to Daily Fuel. Lyle, I hope I'm saying your name right. If you see at the top of this post, there's a thing at the last paragraph says to click this eCam link. It's eCam.com and then some number. If you click on that, it will give you instructions to give me permission to see your name and profile image. This way I know who is talking. See, like when Crimson says hello, I see this. Crimson says hello, right? And I see her face and her name and her thing. But if you don't, because she clicked that link. But if you don't click that link, I get this. And then I don't know who it is, and I have to go to this and figure it out. And that's no big deal. But if you get a chance, do me a favor. It doesn't have to be right now. Click that link. And then next time you comment, I'll see that it's you. But either way, welcome to Daily Fuel. Welcome to the group. Nice to see you. Ray says, I'd rather kiss a frog. Okay. You can do that. That's tomorrow's Daily Fuel. It's kissing frogs. Crimson says, like unpacking, and I spent an hour this morning to put away a few boxes of stuff. Yeah, that's a good one, right? It's like you move maybe, and now you got boxes and you don't feel like getting around to it. Anything like that. It could be in life. It could be in relationships. It could be, right? You don't want to have that talk. You don't want to go to do that thing you got to do together. I don't know, right? But, a lot of things I put into business terms. So, unpleasant ones can definitely be unpacking. You just things that you put off. Or unpacking too is like maybe you're putting it off because, well, I can't unpack until I clean the closet because I'm not putting my good stuff in that dirty closet into this place we just moved into, so I gotta clean it, But for me, it's usually I gotta organize this studio. I can't work in this slop. What is this? I need to take a whole day to just pick things up and put things down in a different spot. So, Aruna says, free the frog. Yeah. What kind of frog is this? I don't know. I do not know. There are lots of different kinds of frogs. Actually, when I used to make my Planet Bonehead TV show, we did a whole episode on frogs. And Amy says, I used to know more about frogs. I've forgotten a lot of it. I'm really good at avoiding eating the frog. I'll even clean the bins instead of doing the thing I meant to do. There you go. Right, exactly. Wonder why we don't do the thing we need to, because in the end, it only benefits us. Yeah, why don't we do the thing that we really need to? It's interesting. There are a lot of reasons depending on what the frog is, right? So obviously, if it's the unpleasant one, I don't want to have that phone call. I don't want to go to that place and see that person. Maybe it's where we're trying to avoid an unpleasant interaction with somebody, or we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. I have to fire this client, or I don't like asking my clients for money when it's past due because I feel weird. There's all of these kinds of things. We were trying to avoid unpleasant situations, or did you see my Daily Fuel a few weeks ago where I said stop being polite, right? We're trying to avoid coming off as rude. It's rude to be like, yo, pay up. Where's my money, right? And we feel like we're being rude if we do that. So we try to avoid those things. But then there's also the big things, right? I know if I finish this project that that's going to be good for my career, for my this, for my that. I know if I paint that room, which is going to love being here, but man, I just don't feel, well, that's an unpleasant one. I guess we don't like painting. But think about the business project, right? Because I attest it to a fear of success / failure. It could be like, well, what if I do it and it doesn't do the thing? I've got this big project that I know could be the next big step for me, but what if I do it and it's not? So now I'm nervous that if I do it and it doesn't work, that I'm a failure, right? Or if I do it and it does work, what if it succeeds and I can't handle the new thing? So maybe it's also like there's a certain comfort level at being in this place where, well, planning to do it means that I'm going to eventually succeed and be great. But if I don't actually ever do it, then I can't actually fail. In planning for it, I'm just constantly excited about it, So I don't have to do it. Problem solved. And in a way, that's kind of what our psyche does, and it tricks us into thinking this way. Or the whole, I'm making fun of it, but the whole, like, I got to clean my office before I can do this project thing. It is really leans into that because I'm afraid that if I don't that if I do this thing and it doesn't work, that I'm a failure, right? So let me clean my office instead of doing the thing, because if it fails and my office was a mess, then obviously that was why. I could have easily cleaned it and done it. And do you understand? It's like we have ways of rationalizing this stuff. And that's what this is. But if we could just learn to practice identifying the frog and being like, screw it, I'm doing it. Just no excuses, because there will always be another one. That thing could not work, right? Could not work. And it doesn't mean you're a failure. You just do the next thing. But we can never succeed if we don't do it. I'm going to stop talking about that. Amy says, I read that one, right? Oh, yes, right. And Marcia says, procrastination might be my middle name. But depending on what is going on at the moment, a project can become overwhelming to complete, even when broken down into segments. But I do eventually get it done. Yeah, this could take practice, especially with if you have a big, huge project and you try to break it down into segments. You might not know off the bat what the segments are. Have you ever had a thing where it's like you're really good at it, you can just do it, but then somebody's like, "How do you do that?" And you have no idea how to explain it because you just do it all the time, right? So you might not even be able to explain it to yourself in terms where you can now break it down into segments. You just know. All right, fine, I'm going to go do the thing, and you know what to do, and blah 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 blah, and before you know it, it's done. But what were the steps? What were the pieces? How would you have planned it out ahead of time? You don't always know. So you gotta. It definitely can take practice, Marcia. Depending on what's going on at the moment, the project can become overwhelming to complete. So larger projects can definitely become overwhelming, and that could be the third reason why we do it is because it's so huge. It's so huge, right? Here, look at this one again while I'm saying this, right? It could be overwhelming. Overwhelm is a really interesting emotion, a reaction to things, because when you've got a large thing that needs to be done, the way we think about it, or the way I think about it anyway, is I've got to do this thing, and I have to do the whole thing. I have to, if I sit down and start to move my pen to write, I have to have the whole book written, right? But a logical person who is emotionally detached from this entire thing would just be like, well, just write the first couple pages of chapter 1. You don't have to write the whole book in one sitting. But my ego is like, I got to write the whole thing. I got to write the whole thing, and it's got to be done by Wednesday, And so that's how we see it, and we're emotionally responding to that by being like, I can't do that. I can't get this whole thing written. I can't think of what the ending is. I can't think of the ending to this. Let's say you're writing a book. I can't think of the ending. Right? I just can't think of it. So I'm not even going to start it until I can think of the ending. But what I've learned is that by starting the beginning and then moving into the middle, the ending kind of appears. Things show up. So, It maybe breaking it down into segments doesn't work for you, but say, my frog tomorrow is to just start the thing, and when I feel like I've reached a natural pause moment, that's when I'll pause. Try that. Robin is showing me frogs. Did I say hi to you, Robin? Hi. Robin's quoting me, if I don't do it, then I don't have to fail. I like that. Yeah, if I don't do it, then I don't have to fail. I can't fail. I can't fail because I didn't do it. I didn't attempt it. If I don't attempt the thing, right? I can't be the worst baseball player in the world because I don't play baseball. Problem solved, right? I can't fail at this business because I never opened the business. I can't fail in this relationship because I bailed after 2 dates. I can't fail at this job because, I quit because the boss just was a jerk one day and I was like, I can't work for this person, and I left. These might be extreme examples, but think about the things that we bail on before we even do them. And are we doing that so that we don't have to fail at them? We can't fail at them if we don't attempt them. Mikey says, by the way, happy 420. Cool. Robin says, I don't do that much. Not because I'm against it. I think it's great. I actually enjoy smoking sometimes, but man, it could hit me one way or it could hit me the other way, which is why I'm actually excited. Just a side note, which is why I am excited about legalization, because that means you can go to a place and tell them what you like and what you don't like, and they can give you something that suits you. If you're just getting it from somebody who's like, hey, I got some, you never know what the hell you're getting, and that sucks. End of side note on pot. So Robin says, oops, I closed it. I procrastinate a lot because there are a million other things that I would rather do. Stuff I want to do that's more appealing than the other stuff that I need to do. That's another way to do it, right? It's like that's the negative frog. Well, I don't want to do that thing. And so what I was saying is I don't want to do that thing because it's unpleasant. Man, I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want to make that phone call. But we can also flip it and be like, well, I can do that thing, or I can do this thing. I could eat my Brussels sprouts, or I could have ice cream. Woo, right? I'm a grown up. I could do either one right now. And I pick the ice cream. Over the, or I could eat frogs, right? So I should have stuck with my own metaphor of eating frogs. So Amy says, paint the door, then eat the frog. I'm set for tomorrow. Excellent. Marcia says, I didn't skip one, no. A lot of times we try to be too perfect, trying to finish what we are working on. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Perfection that's a good one. Let me write that down. I haven't done that in a while. I think I did it once, a million years ago. Perfectionism, right? Let me write that for a future one. I got a couple in the hopper that I've been trying to get to. Trevor suggested a couple of weeks ago humility, and I haven't been able to fit it into the groove of a particular week. So I'm like, I got it over here just on a shelf waiting for a week that I'm like, oh, now it's time for this one. So we'll get to that. But perfection, that's like a good counter to this maybe. We'll see. Ray, yes, Canada, 420. Crimson says, where am I? Did I miss? Yeah, Crimson says, my biggest frog is when I have to clean my studio. I always get sidetracked and end up creating a new project and make a bigger mess. That's interesting. See, for me, I have a frog, and my way of avoiding the frog is clean my studio. See, if we partnered together, then when I was avoiding my frog, I would fix your frog, and that would solve your problem. That wouldn't solve my problem. We're not doing that. Anyway, that's the last comment. So, all right. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And let's see if I can jibber jabber enough for a couple more comments to come in. If not, Crimson, you get the booby prize. If not, me as a studio partner. But the booby prize, I'm sure, is just as nice. So, with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We will be back tomorrow with something, maybe perfection, maybe not. I don't know. I have to decide tomorrow because I gotta think about them, and I have to. It's gotta hit me. So Crimson is teamwork makes the dream work. There you go. So guys, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night or day or whatever it is where you are, and take care.